Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I am going to be explaining to you the steps that you need to go through when you're applying for your spousal visa. So make sure you stick around if this video is for you or if you think it's for someone that you know, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So let's go. I'm going to explain to you what I did. Disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an immigration lawyer. I don't work for immigration. I don't work for the UK government. This is just the process I went through, and this is what I did when I was applying for my spousal visa. So I'm going to be looking down because I'm looking at my phone. I wrote down all the steps so I don't forget anything. I'm applying, or I applied from inside the UK. Bear in mind, the process for applying from inside the UK and outside the UK may be slightly different. I'm only going to be explaining to you the process of applying from inside the UK. I don't think it's going to be a long video, hopefully, but I'm going to try my best to break down all the steps and explain to you what exactly I did. So number one, the first thing you need to do is make sure you get all your documents ready. You need to make sure you start getting your documents ready at least 2 months before the date you're going to be applying. So what I did, I made sure that I made a list of everything that I needed, and then one by one I just started checking all my files, my husband's files, to make sure that we both had all these documents, and if we needed to get any particular document, we get it in time for the date that we'll be applying. Number one, the most important document is your marriage certificate. We had been married for more than 6 months before I put in this application. You need your passport and your spouse's passport, your husband or your wife, whatever the case may be. You need their passport. I also added in like previous passports that I've had and he's had, just to show that there's been like a record. You may not need that, but I just added that, just, to be honest with you, I probably gave them way too much than they needed, like way more than they needed, but I didn't care, to be honest. I just wanted to make sure that they had everything and then they can just do whatever they want with all that. So the next set of documents you need your pay slips for 6 months for yourself and for your spouse. You need a letter from both of your employers, and in this letter it needs to state how long you've been working in this company, what you do in this company, how much you earn yearly, and how many hours you work in the company. If it's full-time, part-time, all of that. In this letter, it needs to state that. It's not a very complicated letter. It just needs to state from your employer that this is what you do, this is how long you work there, you've been working there for this long, and all this information. And then you also need your bank statement, 6 months bank statement for yourself and for your spouse. The next set of documents you need to get, you need to have evidence that you've both been living together for at least 2 years. To be honest, I'm speaking for myself. Don't do what I did, but we had not been living for 2 years before I put in this application. I'm not going to lie. It was not up to 2 years, and I just prayed to God and I said, God, please take control, because at the end of the day, we have all this other evidence that it's a real marriage, it's not fake. So I assumed that they were going to just see that it was real, and thank God they did. So the next set of documents you need to have evidence that you've been living together. You need to give them your tenancy agreement. You need to give them bills. You need to have bills. When you start living together, make sure when you're setting up your gas bill, your council tax, your electricity, water bill, all of that, make sure you get them to put your name and his name on these bills together. It's very important, because when you're applying for this visa, you need to have at least a number of documents that proves that you pay bills together, you're living together, there's evidence to show that you do things together and you've been doing things together. So what it says here is, I'm going to read it. It says, you must provide at least 6 items of correspondence addressed to you and your partner jointly or in both your names. The dates of the items of correspondence should be spread evenly over the whole 2 years. They should be from at least 3 different sources. If you do not have enough items in your joint names, you may also provide items addressed to each of you individually if they show the same address for both of you. For example, 4 items of correspondence in joint names to the same address and 2 items addressed to each partner at the address. In total, 8 items would need to be submitted. If you and your partner have no bills or correspondence in joint names, you will need to submit 12 items, 6 each of correspondence, evidencing that you reside together at the same address. So all these documents and bills is just for them to see that you both reside in this residence, you're both paying bills and all of that. So I provided council tax, my electricity and gas bill, water bill, which we had in both of our names, and then I provided evidence for myself and for him in my name and in his name separately. So I got my telephone bill, I had TV license, letter from the TV license people, and then I got from my husband letter from the DVLA and a telephone bill as well. So that had his name, where he lives, and the ones I provided had only my name and where I lived. And then I provided joint documents with both of our names. I'm repeating this again: council tax, gas bill, and water bill. Then I provided there's other evidence you need to provide as well to prove that this is not a scam. So most things I did were probably just extra. They did not request for this particularly, but I decided to provide it just to support my documents. But this one you need to provide this. It's your university certificate. So I had my master's here in the UK, so I provided my certificate from my university, for which they gave me when I graduated. The next set of evidence you would need, or that I provided photos, lots of photos and wedding pictures from our wedding, both in Nigeria and in the UK. And so what I did was, it's so many photos because we've been together for a couple of years, so it's insane for you to give them all the pictures because you've taken so many pictures like throughout the years. So what I did was, I went on Canva and I just clicked like the presentation mode and I put in photos. Maybe I'll say 1 photo from each month since we've been together, and then I put in the wedding photos as well. Just they can see that we've taken photos with family, people, we have friends and family that are aware of our relationship and in support of our relationship, to give you more, boosts to show that this is real. So I put that in a collage, and I just stated on each of them January 2021 or whatever, 2022, whatever year you met, or whatever, how long you guys have been together. So I just put it January, February, March, April, just like that. And then I put the wedding photos as well. What I also did was I added screenshots of chats. This is a lot, I know, but I added screenshots of chats, but I did 1 screenshot from each month, because you can't add everything. It's too many chats. That's too much. So I did 1 screenshot from each month since we started talking, and I just put it in the presentation form on Canva, and I saved it as a PDF file. And then another thing I added was wedding invitations. I added wedding invitations for a traditional wedding and a white wedding, a civil wedding we did in the UK. So I put the invitations just as evidence. Then I also put flight tickets for when we traveled together to Nigeria, when we traveled to anywhere we traveled together to. I put the flight tickets as part of my evidence. And then I got my husband to write a letter to just explain how we met and all of that. It doesn't need to be too long. It was just like one page. In the letter, it just stated how we met, how long we've been together, and stating the evidence that we are putting together to provide to the Home Office to prove that we are actually in a real marriage. So I think that is it actually. So I'm just going to list out all these documents again. I'm going to make a list of it. You need your marriage certificate, your passport for yourself and for your spouse, pay slips, letter from your employer stating how long you've been working in the company, what you do, how many hours you work in a week, if it's full-time, part-time, and how much you earn. You need your bank statement for yourself and for your spouse. You need your tenancy agreement. You need bills to show that you're paying bills and you live in the same address. Council tax, gas bill, electricity bill, water bill, telephone bill, any letter from any government place like the DVLA, TV license, and then photos, wedding photos, chats, screenshots of chats. But some people might also add screenshots of call logs, video calls. I didn't add that, but you can add that as well if maybe you have not lived in the same place together at the same time for a long time. Then wedding invitations, flight tickets, letter from your spouse explaining how you met, and also your school certificate from your university. So I think this is all you need, or this is not all you need, but this is all I submitted when I was applying for my spousal visa. Trust me guys, this whole process can be a bit overwhelming because it's just so many documents you're putting together, so many documents, and it just gets a bit overwhelming, but it's something you can do by yourself. I did everything by myself. I didn't pay any immigration lawyer or anyone, so I was able to do it myself. It's very straight to the point. It gets overwhelming, but each process, anything you click, it's going to show you what you need to do and what you need to upload, it explains to you what you need to do basically. So I did it all by myself and I was able to get my visa. I think I got a response in 5 weeks. In 5 weeks I got a response from the Home Office saying I had received my visa. So I hope this video, I tried to make this video as short as possible, just to give you a quick list of all the documents you need for your visa application if you're applying through the family route as a spouse from inside the UK. So I'm going to put a link down in the description box. If you need more information from the government website, you can get more information there. This is just what I did. So if you have any more questions, just put it in the comments and I'll do my best to respond to them. So I really hope this video will be useful to you or to anyone you know. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, subscribe, share this video, do whatever you need to do, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.